This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big questions remain to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines. And groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
Good evening and welcome to the news. Today being 10th of June 2026, 3 p.m. Stay tuned as we bring you our top stories. I'm Grace Tabitha.
And I am Mwangi.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big questions remain to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines. And groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
President William Ruto has secured a seafarer job agreement during his visit to Norway, paving the way for more Kenyans to access employment opportunities in the global maritime industry.
The deal is expected to create jobs for youth and strengthen labor cooperation between the two countries.
The initiative is part of the government efforts to expand overseas employment opportunities and boost economic growth through international partnership. Our reporter Mwangi has more.
President William Ruto has secured a safer jobs agreement during his visit to Norway, paving the way for more Kenyans to access employment opportunities in the global maritime industry. The deal is expected to create jobs for youth and strengthen labor cooperation between the two countries.
Now, with the challenge we have with that place called Hormuz, which has become famous all of a sudden. We didn't know about Hormuz until whatever happened in Iran happened. So I think it presents us with a new opportunity to look at what can Mombasa and your ports here, what can they do together?
The initiative is part of the government's efforts to expand overseas employment opportunities and boost economic growth through international partnerships. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika Kiambu, I am Mwangi. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka is calling for nationwide safety audit of all boarding schools to ensure compliance with safety standards and prevent fire-related deaths.
He also wants a fully funded national mental health program for learners, citing rising unrest and deeper challenges facing students.
Our reporter Naomi Mora has more.
Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has called for a nationwide safety audit in all boarding schools across Kenya. He says this is important to ensure schools meet safety standards and prevent deaths in case of fire incidents.
Mandatory national safety and audit of every boarding school dormitory in Kenya, accompanied by enforceable deadlines and criminal liability for non-compliance. Secondly, a fully funded national school mental health program. These incidents are not only about physical infrastructure, they are also about emotional well-being.
Speaking in Nairobi during a fundraising dinner where he also launched his 27 presidential campaign platform, Musyoka also proposed a full-funded nationwide mental health program for students. He says rising unrest in schools is a sign of deeper problems affecting learners, including poor living conditions, food issues, and mental health pressure.
Students are raising concerns about living conditions, about food quality, about mental health pressures. I repeat, mental health pressures, inadequate resolution conflict or grievance resolution mechanisms, an environment where they often feel unheard. Yet, the response has remained largely reactive.
Musyoka furthermore criticized past government for responding only after problems occur instead of solving the root causes. He also launched a campaign website to to support his presidential bid, allowing Kenyans to contribute and follow his political agenda.
We are unveiling the real arsenal today. And you will not believe it. You'll be hit from every corner, not knowing what has hit you.
Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Naomi Mungasia.
A fresh wave of unrest in secondary school has raised concerns among parents and education stakeholders, with a number of institutions experiencing disruptions in the recent week.
Despite the incidents, the government says there will be no early closure of schools and has moved to strengthen measures aimed at restoring calm. Grace Tabitha reports.
Alarm is mounting across the country as a fresh wave of school unrest forces several institutions to send learners home prematurely. Schools including Moi Girls Nairobi, Pangani Girls, Thika High School, and Githunguri Girls have experienced disruptions amidst the growing tension. The National Parents Association has called for an urgent stakeholder meeting to address the root cause of the unrest. Education authorities, however, insist there will be no unscheduled closure of schools. Basic Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok says fewer than 80 of Kenya's more than 9,500 schools have been affected, representing less than 1% of all institutions.
But I want to take this opportunity to assure our parents around the country that our schools are safe. 99.2% of our students are safe and schools are functioning well. And after this term is scheduled for 24th of this month, and learners are directed that they must wait for the right time for half term. We are not going to disrupt the school calendar because of a few schools who are messing up our program.
According to the Ministry of Education, some of the issues linked to the unrest include examination pressure, weak communication between students and administrators, poor counseling structures, and students' welfare concerns. The government has ordered nationwide safety audits and strengthened guidance and counseling programs as efforts continue to restore calm in schools.
We have told the principals and the teachers, don't force these students to do exams. Negotiate with them. If they are not ready and you think exam, whether it is mock, whether it is continuous assessment, kama inaleta shida, ongea na wanafunzi. Kama wako tayari, afadhali uongee nao. Afadhali shule ichomeke, afadhali kuongea na wanafunzi. Si afadhali exam ikuwe postponed. Ama namna gani?
Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Grace Tabitha. A final year KMTC student has died after he was allegedly thrown from a moving Nico Sacco bus along Thika Road.
The student, identified as Eugene Mutuku, was reportedly traveling to his hospital attachment when the incident occurred following a disagreement over fare payment.
The tragic death has sparked public outrage, with many Kenyans calling for justice as the police continue with investigations.
Our reporter, Mercy Achieng, has the details.
A KMTC student has died following a reported incident involving a Nico Bus Sacco vehicle along the busy highway.
Na akatoka, mimi nilikuwa natoka around 8 nikienda kazi, nikapigiwa simu around 7 na someone I don't know, nikaniambia anaitwa Joseph. Yeye ndio aliokota Eugene.
According to the early information, the student is said to have been pushed out of a moving bus under circumstances that are still unclear. The incident happened while the vehicle was in transit, but the exact cause and event leading to the fall has not yet been officially confirmed.
Papa alikuwa na broken leg na hapa tumbo alikuwa amegwarwa, ana tumbo ilikuwa imefura, and the things he kept saying, alikuwa anasema anaumwa na hapa, hata alikuwa anasema nikalishe chini, nifinya hapa. He was in pain, he was in deep pain.
Nimeona watu wakisema alikuwa amekosa fare, na si fare alikuwa amekosa. Venye nilifika aliniambia makanga ndio alimrusha, na we makanga ni kama walikuwa na vuruta ni change yake oficha kumpe.
The student sustained several injuries and was rushed for a medical attention but was later pronounced dead. Authorities have launched investigation to establish what exactly happened and how the student ended up outside a moving vehicle.
Huyo ni mtoto tu na alikuwa ametoka, pia alikuwa na dreams zake na alikuwa na very big dreams za kufanya. Mtu akirusha mtoto kama huyo, it's bad. And if makanga na dereva walikuwa wazuri, wangetoroka, wangeenda police station, wangejipeleka police station.
This was a very young promising man, and as a family we could see a future in him, so we just want justice for him. Those people who did this thing to him washikwe or they face the law.
Along Thika Highway, where a KMTC learner has died after reportedly coming off of a moving Nicobar's Sacco vehicle while it was in transit, the learner was rushed to the hospital but was later pronounced dead. Authorities have launched investigations to establish what led to the incident. Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Mercy Achieng.
Environmental activists were arrested during a protest over alleged excision of part of Nairobi National Park and have been released on a free bond.
The group, led by the United Green Movement party leader David Maraga, was detained after demonstrating against plans they claim would see 75 acres of parkland converted into a parking lot.
The activists are expected to report back to Langata Police Station in 2 weeks.
Mwaka Mbigo with more.
A peaceful demonstration along Langata Road quickly turned tense as environmental activists marched carrying trees, seedling and animal print caskets in protest against the alleged excision of part of Nairobi National Park. The demonstrators claim that 75 acres of parkland are set aside for the construction of a parking lot, raising fears over the future of one of Kenya's most important wildlife habitats. Protesters also accused authorities of failing to conduct public participation as required by the law, insisting that any plans affecting the park should involve public consultation. The situation escalated when individuals dressed in civilian clothing moved in and arrested United Green Movement party leader David Maraga alongside 9 other activists.
If it was a project that was being done properly, we should have had public hearings, as the constitution requires. We should have had public hearings in town hall. The city council should have arranged for a town hall and the people are invited there. That was not done, and that's why we are all protesting. So I appeal to all Kenyans, join up. Just don't leave these groups alone.
The arrests and reported acts of intimidation against those raising legitimate concerns about the future of Nairobi National Park represent a dangerous assault on civic space and democratic participation.
The arrest sparked criticism from civil rights groups who questioned the decision to detain demonstrators, especially amid claims that the protest had received prior security clearance from regional authorities. The activists were taken to Langata Police Station, where they spent most of the day in custody before being released for a free bond. They are expected to report back to the station in 2 weeks.
Those officers and the line of command that has resulted in these very unfortunate happenings. So we have to know who ordered this, who led this particular operation, and people must take account.
Despite the growing concerns, the Kenya Wildlife Service has dismissed allegations of land grabbing, maintaining that the planned project is intended to improve facilities at the Nairobi Animal Orphanage and enhance wildlife rehabilitation centers. Debate over the future of the contested land is expected to continue as conservationists push for greater transparency and public involvement in decisions affecting protected areas. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Mwaka Mbigo.
Taking a brief break, more news coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines, and groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
Kristo wa neema yote, imbisha moyo wangu. Praise God, everyone. I am Mercy Achieng.
I'm Martha Sengo.
We will be welcoming you to our show, that is the Sabbath Welcoming. And in the book of John chapter 14 verse 6, it says, I am the way, the truth, and the light.
Indeed, that says the Lord. It's on every Friday as from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. as we draw near the feet of Jesus and cast our burdens unto him.
Here in this show, we will be preparing Christians spiritually, mentally, and emotionally for the Sabbath that is due. We will be encouraging each other with inspirational messages, gospel, and interactive discussions. Join us every Friday as from 5 to 6 p.m. as we quench our thirst for Christ.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big question remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines, and groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News recap, where the week's biggest story come together.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. On another story, environmental groups and conservationists are raising a fierce alarm over the rapid depletion of the country's forests, vocally opposing recent government excision plans that threaten vital local ecosystem.
Our reporter, Carmen Mercy, has more details.
Activists are warning that clearing protected forest lands for development projects will cause irreversible damage to the environment and wildlife. Gathering in large numbers, local communities and climate advocates are demanding immediate policy changes to safeguard the remaining green spaces before the destruction goes any further.
We are here to basically protest against what is happening at the Nairobi National Park, where a project is being done without following due process in terms of public hearings and public participation for the environmental impact assessments, where they are hiving off part of the Nairobi National Park, 89 acres or so, ostensibly to move the animal orphanage.
I speak today with a heavy heart, but also with deep conviction of the vital importance of this gathering here today. As the board chair of the Greenbelt movement, founded by Nobel Peace Prize laureate Professor Wangari Maathai, I am reminded of the central message around which she dedicated much of her professional life, that environmental protection is not a frivolous preoccupation.
While the government insists these projects are necessary for infrastructure, conservationists are vowing to step up their demonstrations, leaving the future of the nation's key water towers and forested areas hanging in a tense balance.
The more trees we plant, the more ecological zones we look after, the more water catchment areas we look after, the more water we are going to have, the more rain we are going to have. Then we can harvest that water, put it in our dams, use it for food production, and stop importing food into Kenya.
As the debate continues, the future of this vital forest ecosystem remains uncertain. Reporting for TAS TV, I am
Kenya Shipyard Limited, KSL, has unveiled locally manufactured glass reinforced plastic, or GRP, manufactured boats designed to improve safety on Lake Victoria.
The modern vessels are expected to reduce accidents, enhance transport services, and support the livelihoods of communities that depend on the lake.
Our reporter Ruth Oyo has the details.
Communities around Lake Victoria have for 4 years relied on wooden boats for fishing and transport.
We realized that one of the causes was the type of boats that they were using. They were using the wooden boats.
However, safety concerns have persisted due to accidents involving aging and poorly maintained vessels.
A lot of accidents in the waters, one too many lives being lost in the waters. And you see, most of the guys who go out fishing, these are the breadwinners.
Yes.
So a life that is lost would impact on our whole household.
Boti ambayo kama unaweza kutengeneza, kama unataka kutengeneza, unaanzia na mbao. Alafu kama unaanzia na mbao, unatafuta mabati, plain sheet. Changamoto yake ni wakati ambayo kama hujapata ile mbao ambayo imekomaa. Saa zingine hawezi kukaa muda mrefu. Kama uko na ile mbao ambayo imekomaa, atakaa kama miaka 3, miaka 4 umeanza kufanya repair.
In response, Kenya Shipyard Limited has unveiled locally made glass reinforced plastic GRP boats. The boats are designed to be stronger, safer and more durable than traditional wooden boats.
Ina float vizuri. Hata ikizama unaweza ikakuokoa. Ikakuokoa.
Officials says the invitation will enhance safety on the lake while supporting local manufacturing and the blue economy. The boats are also expected to improve transport and create new economy opportunities for lake communities.
Ulifikaje kwamba ukamua acha uchukue hii boat? Wewe kama
kwanza tuliweza kukodisha boat ile ambao yenye tulikuwa tunakuja nayo hapa kufanya feeding. Na unajua wakati tuko hapo tuko youth group na tuko women group. Na sana women wanaogopa. Unaona ile sio stable sana.
Yes,
nini inastaga. So women wanaogopa hiyo sana. Sasa hapo ndio tulifikia kwamba tuende kwa shipyards warundie boat kama hii ambayo iko stable, mtu anasimama hata ndani bila kustaga hivi iwezi kaangusha mtu.
Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Ruth Oyo.
The government has issued a strong warning to farmers over the use of harmful agricultural products.
Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe says the products are unsafe inputs that pose a major threat to farmers, consumers, and the country's export markets.
Kagwe warned that the continued use of substandard and harmful farm inputs could lead to a huge loss for farmers, put public health at risk, and compromise the quality of produce destined for both local and international markets.
Mother Siengo with more details.
The government has issued a strong warning to farmers over the use of harmful agricultural products. The Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe had described this product as unsafe input that pose a serious threat to farmers, consumers, and the country's export market at large.
The world cannot continue operating under a double standard when it comes to agricultural chemicals.
He cautioned that the continued use of unregulated and dangerous farm chemicals could lead to poor crop quality, risk health, and rejection of a Kenyan's produce in the international market. The Cabinet Secretary emphasized that protecting the agricultural sector begins with ensuring that the only approved and the safe inputs are used in food production.
If a pesticide is considered unsafe for use in one country because it poses unacceptable risks to human health or the environment, it should not find a marketplace anywhere else in the world.
The government is now calling on the farmers, suppliers, and all stakeholders in the agricultural value chain to remain vigilant and comply with the said regulation. This move is aimed at safeguarding public health, protecting farmers' livelihood, and preserving the country's reputation in the global trade.
Farmers need supportive policies, affordable finance, technology, functioning markets, and above all, strong institutions that amplify their voices and secure their place at the decision-making table.
Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Martha Siengo.
Popular musician Garoyan Jr. has filed an official complaint after former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua claimed there is a plot to assassinate him.
Our reporter Mutheu has the details.
Popular musician Garuya Jr. and his lawyers were sent to DCI headquarters today. They went to record an official statement because they were worried about his safety. This comes after former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua claimed that the musician's life is in danger.
Leo imekuwa siku mzuri kwangu kwa maana leo niliamka mapema ili niingie kwa DCI kwa sababu ya matamshi ambaye Rigathi Gachagua former deputy president aliongea. Number one, kaongea mambo ya Wandeto ya kwamba Wandeto waliuawa na serikali. Number two, akasema after Wandeto ni Garoya Junior na mambo ingine ambaye alisema.
The issue started during a TV interview where Gachagua allegedly said the government wants to kill Garuya Jr. and blame the opposition. Garuya lawyers says these words are dangerous and untrue. They want the DCI to summon Gachagua so he can show proof of his claims. Even with these scary reports, Garuya says he's not afraid and still strongly supports President William Ruto.
Rigathi Gachagua, former deputy president, alikuwa kwa Inoro TV asubuhi mmoja na akasema ya kwamba serikali inapanga kuua Garuya Junior. Na president ambaye alikuwa anaitwa Kamau Kang'ethe akamuuliza swali, Bwana Rigathi Gachagua, information hii uko naye wewe unatoa wapi? Rigathi Gachagua akajibu akasema ya kwamba huwa anapatiwa na maaskari. Kuna information anapata kwa maaskari, kuna watu wao wanamwambia hii information yote anasema. That's why leo nimeenda kwa DCI ili ni request DCI waite Rigathi Gachagua, waulize Rigathi Gachagua ya kwamba nini na ni nani anataka kuua Garoya Junior. Apeleke wa maaskari atoe hiyo information ya nani anaua Garoya na siku ya kukufa ni lini na itakufia wapi. Because Gachagua anakaa ya kwamba anajua Garoya Junior siku yake ya kukufa, nani wanamuua na atakufia wapi.
The DCI has now started investigations into the matter, and we will see if former Deputy President will come to write his statement. Reporting for TAS TV, I am Naomi Mutheu.
Turning to sports, progress is picking up speed in Eldoret as the intensive renovation of the 15,000-seat Kipchoge Kino Stadium moves forward.
Officials from the Ministries of Defense and Sports visited the facility to keep a close eye on its steady transformation into an international sports arena.
John Kimoni with the details.
With construction officially reaching the 45% mark, crews are focusing heavily on the remaining major installations, including the roof, the pitch, and the running track. While questions were previously raised regarding the venue's timeline, local authorities are reassuring the public that work is running ahead of the schedule to meet a crucial December deadline.
Major work is the roof and the pitch and the tartan, and all those works that have already been planned. Some people out there are saying that this venue may not be ready to even host AFCON, but we had given as an alternative stadium the venue for Kipchoge was not the main venue for AFCON. It is an alternative venue for AFCON.
We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. The four governments have been there, and under the administration of Dr. William Samoei Ruto, we are now seeing that Kipchoge Stadium will be the reality. This is a stadium that will give us the name, the City of Champions, which we've been having that name for a very long time without a stadium in Eldoret.
For TAS TV Kenya, I am John Kimoni.
The Kenya Veterinary Services has launched a modern livestock laboratory aimed at strengthening research, disease surveillance and control of animal diseases in the country.
Officials say the facility will improve early detection of livestock diseases, enhance scientific research, and support efforts to boost livestock productivity and food security. Here is the report.
The Kenya Veterinary Service has officially unveiled a state-of-the-art livestock laboratory in a move aimed at improving animal health and boosting the livestock sectors.
At the Kenya Wildlife Service, we have two kinds of laboratories. We have the diagnostic laboratory that assists us to be able to detect diseases and be able to treat diseases both in animals and in livestock. Then we have the genetic laboratories that are able to profile the genes, and these two laboratories, we have now created a satellite laboratory here at Lewa.
The new facility will provide advanced testing and diagnostic services, enabling experts to quickly identify and respond to livestock diseases that threaten animal productivity and food security.
As we have all seen and gone round, is that we have established a very, very important lab within this region that is going to handle issues to do with diagnostic statistics and also the issues of problems of disease in wildlife and to a greater extent even livestock.
Officials say the laboratory will play a critical role in disease surveillance, research and development of effective control measures, helping protect farmers from losses caused by disease outbreaks. The launch is also expected to strengthen Kenya's capacity to meet internationally animal health standards and improve access to regional and global livestock markets.
Looking forward, we really want the communities to benefit from that. Kama kuna ile ugonjwa ambayo inaweza kuleta shida kwa wale wanyama, at least inakuwa detected haraka na tunafanya ile kitu inatakiwa.
Farmers and stakeholders have welcomed the initiative, expressing optimism that it will contribute to healthier livestock, increased productivity, and improved livelihoods. Reporting for TAS TV, Kiambu County, Thika, Peterson, Masharia.
This week on News Recap, politics took a new turn.
DCP blames the government of not delivering what they promised.
Health concerns sparked a fresh conversation.
The big questions remains to Kenyans. Is SHA still working?
Security issues continued to make headlines. And groundbreaking discoveries captured global attention. These are the stories shaping our world. News Recap, where the week's biggest story come together.